Hey, yo, what's the deal? Miss your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I'm saying? As of this recording right now, it is 7:42 p.m. April 10th, 2025. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm just chilling. You know what I mean? I'm actually walking home as we speak. You know what I mean? Not even that. Like before I even get home, I'm actually walking to my mom's crib. You know what I mean? So I'm just chilling. This video is going up at about 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? It's going up at 11. God damn, I hate this fucking thing, yo. I hate this fucking hook for the phone, yo. It's like this shit don't want to fucking stick. That shit legit ticked me the fuck off, yo. Hold on, let me just close this shit. There we go. Fuck. Anyway, so just because I haven't spoken on this topic, it doesn't mean that, I didn't know anything about it. I've been knew about this topic that I'm about to mention. But I just didn't have the time and effort to talk about it, because I felt like, but things kept on going. I keep seeing things on social media about it and such. So I said, fuck it, why not? You know what? Let me give my thoughts and let me say what I think should happen between the two. Okay. So you guys know about the whole thing with Swerve and Booker.T. Right, the whole Booker.T, Swerve controversy and such, basically stems off of the whole Vlad, DJ Vlad interview, right? And, I rock with Vlad. I'm not a fan of Vlad like that because I think he's a snitch, but it is what it is, right? When he talk, when he brings rappers into the show and such, But, shout out to him. I mean, he gives great interviews, right? So he decided to dive in the world of professional wrestling with this interview, right? And Swerve said some things that was not so kind to Booker.T, right? And of course, Booker.T fired back, and then we know what happened on Sunday after the Dynasty pay-per-view. You know what I mean? After he lost in that bullshit-ass fucking main event. You know what I mean? Which, oh, man. But here's my thing, okay? So whose side do I take on this one? I take neither. I'm not taking neither side. You know what I mean? Because, Booker T's a piece of shit, but also Swerve is a piece of shit too. So they're both not right. But who do I think is more wrong? Swerve. Now the thing with Booker T is, Booker T comes off as a person who, and I like Booker T as a wrestler. You know what I mean? I really do. But he rubs me the wrong way and stuff. Like there's things that he does that kind of like makes me look at him a little funny. You know what I mean? Like, all right, doggy, you got your break from WCW. All right, no problem. You know what I mean? Like you're hands down, according to BET and to many others, the greatest black wrestler of all time. I mean, it's subjective. You know what I mean? But he's, like you cannot ignore the achievements that he got in this business. You can't, right? But he's a guy who kind of like basically strikes me the wrong way and stuff. I mean, you hear about the stuff, with him and wrestlers and such, especially like, and again, I'm not defending these pricks that I'm about to mention either, but the whole Booker T Young Bucks situation, right? There you go. But anyway, he's the guy who strikes me the wrong way and stuff. But Swerve is another one who strikes me the wrong way. And the reason why I think Swerve is more wrong on this one is because he should know better. You know what I mean? Like he went on Vlad's channel, right? He went on Vlad TV's channel and just, saying how Triple H didn't look at him, as a top guy. Nigga, you wasn't a top guy. You wasn't a top guy, bro. You wasn't. You know what I mean? Like you was, you know what it was with Swerve? Swerve was, and I don't know if Swerve was Evolve World Champion. I'm not sure. But Swerve in his mind thought that he should have been bigger than what he was. Nigga, Vince was running the fucking show, boy. Vince was running the fucking show. You know what I mean? It wasn't Triple H, it was Vince. And it was just and then talking about, oh, I should have went straight to the main roster. Dude, you're not all that at that point, boy. Calm it down. But, you know, that DJ Vlad interview, like I said, it's going to do damage to him down the road because, you know, he basically, you know, he shitted on Triple H and praised Shawn Michaels. But again, you know, that company loves tribalism. It loves shit like this. Not me because, oh, it gets the fans talking. Or it gets the fans talking about the product, even if it's good or bad, right? We know what they say, good, all publicity is good publicity, right? Fuck out of here. But to go at Booker T, I mean, and then again, like at the end of an awful pay-per-view like Dynasty, man, it's not a good look, man. That's not a good look, B. It's not, bro. It's not. You know, and of course, you see what happened on Tuesday. When you know, when the fans chanted what they chant, you know, fuck Swerve and everything else. You know, I mean, listen, never say never. You know, never say never. Do I think, you know, there's a chance that Swerve will wind up coming back to WWE? Of course, they all do. Either they all come back or they all have a run at some point. You know, you know, once in their career. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. Here's what I think should happen. There's only two ways that this could happen, that this shit can be resolved, right? And this is grown man shit, okay? Grown man shit. Either A, you know, he can go on, meaning Swerve could go on Booker T's show, right? Booker T's podcast, and talk it out man to man. Man to man, you know what I mean? Like, describe what's this issue and such, and, you know, and bam. You know what I mean? Like, you fuck it. If you agree to disagree, fuck it. At least you was a man, at least you was man enough, you know, to talk face to face with them. You know what I mean? I mean, look, Triple H and CM Punk did it. You know what I mean? And they did business. You know what I mean? So, what the fuck make you think that you won't do that? And plus the thing with Swerve, wasn't Swerve in the military? You know what I'm saying? Wasn't Swerve in the fucking military? There you go. You know, or have a match. You know, have a match. And I know you're wondering, well, Tag, how the fuck could that happen? You know, Booker T is a WWE contracted talent. And Swerve is an AEW contracted talent. How the fuck could that happen? Simple. Do it in Booker T's reality wrestling promotion. I don't think Booker T is. I don't think he's retired. I don't think he's retired. I don't think so. You know, say fuck it. You know, have a match. You know what I mean? Like, settle your business. You know, settle your scores there. Now, I mean, do business like grown ass men. You know what I mean? And call it a day. You know what I'm saying? Call it a fucking day. I don't expect neither to happen. You know, but on some real shit. On some real right shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's the best thing to do. Fuck it, that's the greatest thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, you let the shit out your fucking system. You know what I mean? Like, work a match or just talk it out. You know what I mean? And then, you know what they say, time heals all wounds, right? So, but that's just my opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not siding with either or. You know what I'm saying? Because I think both are basically, both are alpha males in their own right. But I think Swerve is a lot more wrong on this one than Booker, in my personal opinion. You know, I think Swerve is the guy who, yeah, he got his break in AEW, right? But I don't know, like, you know, like and mind you, he's also a racist piece of shit too. He's a colorist. You know what I mean? He's a fucking colorist. But that's another thing I forgot to bring up too. Like, you know, he mentioned something about Hit Row in that interview and said, oh, you know, that was his idea, blah, blah, blah. But then, you know, but who was running the ship down in NXT with Hit Row, huh? Who was running it? I don't know. Was it Triple H? Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? With that kind of shit, you know, again, this is what I'm talking about with Swerve, and this is why he puts his foot in his mouth a lot. You know what I mean? This is why he gets the bullshit that he gets, because You know, because of that kind of shit. But that's just me. Anyway, I'm about to be out, guys. You know what I mean? I will definitely catch y'all tomorrow. And I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.